Hey, what's up YouTube? My name is Haley Shinn and I am a tech entrepreneur and brand strategist. Now, before I hop into anything, I want to tell you a little bit more about myself and who I am before we hop into all the exciting topics that I would like to address with this channel. Most of my videos will be about 5 minutes long. I don't want to go too long on anything. That's just going to be my thing. I don't know if it's weird or not, but a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, studied at the University of San Francisco, international business, and I was fortunate enough to have my very first internship with Nike in Shanghai, China. We're going to talk a lot about China. We're going to talk a lot about internships. I did the internship thing and it was great. And I went back to San Francisco where I took on a couple more internship roles in the city. That was my first introduction into the tech space. And transitioning back into my junior year, I was fortunate enough to study abroad at Beijing. When I was out there, I found an internship in Shanghai for a creative consulting agency, and AMG Mercedes was my account. So I was a social media intern. We'll unpack a lot of that in the future, but for the sake of today, I'll try not to bore you with my story. So I graduated, I landed a role as a digital marketing consultant, which was pretty much sales. And I was selling online marketing, SEO. I found my way back into Nike, into a contract position. So that means, you only have a limited time to work at the company. I was fortunate enough to take on that role as a brand marketing specialist for Nike Sportswear in the geography, Asia Pacific, Latin America. Now, I did that role for the first year. That turned into a full-time position at the company as a brand specialist. Throughout that time, I did a lot of projects and I found my way into the manager position, was promoted within 2 years. And then throughout the next 2 years, being in the manager position, I was promoted to the director position for athletes such as LeBron James, Naomi Osaka, Kylian Mbappe, and Sabrina Ionescu, all across different times of the role. I launched some cool projects, some cool products as well. We'll talk a lot about that a little later in the podcast, but last year in March, I left my role at Nike to go full-time on my company, which is called Sibi, S-I-B-I. And this video is sponsored by Sibi and brought to you by Sibi, but it is a marketplace for secondhand fashion, and it's powered by AI in many different ways, and we'll talk a lot about that as well in this journey. And this transition from being a corporate person into an entrepreneur, it's taught me a lot. It's a very humbling experience and something I want to tell and give back to the world, especially for those who are on the fence about what to do. So ultimately, that's my journey. I am 30 years old. If that matters, I have a lot to share when it comes to my experiences, being in both of those worlds of corporate and now as an entrepreneur. I also want to just, give back and hopefully inspire someone to aspire to be their higher sense of self, whether that be through professional or personal. There's a lot of topics that we'll touch in this podcast, but for today, please subscribe. This is my very first video, and there's a lot of fun things in store when it comes to how we're going to roll this thing out. So see you on the next one, episode 1 in the books. Peace.